로켓맨의 주인공 두 분을 무대 위로 모시도록 하겠습니다. 박수 부탁드립니다. 어서 오십시오. 네, 어서 오십시오. Hello, hello, hello. 네, 네, 자리에 앉아주시기 바랍니다.
Please be seated. Thank you.
네. 네, 한국 방문을 진심으로 환영합니다. 그래서 이 자리에 참석해 주신 기자분들께 가볍게 인사 말씀부터 시작해 보도록 할까요?
Hi everybody. It's so great to be here. Some of you may know me from the Kingsman franchise, which was such a huge success here, and I will always feel something of a debt of gratitude to the fans and press in Korea. So here we are again with something new. We were here with our film Eddie the Eagle a couple of years ago, which we were very proud of as well, which Dexter also directed. And now we bring you Rocketman, and we really hope you like the footage you saw, and thank you so much for having us here.
Hello everybody, I will keep it short. I'd just like to echo what my wonderful friend and colleague Mr. Taron Egerton has said. We are super thrilled and excited to be back here in Seoul and bring you Rocketman, which is a tour de force performance by the great man himself, Taron, with his fantastic singing voice. I am so extraordinarily proud to be part of it, and good to see you all. Hello, 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 hello.
네, 기자님들 질문 준비하시는 동안에 제가 한 가지만 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. 칸에서부터 시작돼서 굉장히 바쁜 일정임에도 불구하고 한국을 꼭 오셨다고 들었습니다. 그래서 이 특별히 한국을 방문하신 소감, 다시 찾아주신 소감 여쭐 텐데요. 제가 다시 한번 말씀드리지만 플래시는 공식 포토타임 때만 사용을 부탁드립니다. 그래서 플래시를 좀 꺼주시기를 부탁드릴게요. 앞에서 눈이 좀 많이 부시거든요. 네, 그러면 한국 방문하신 소감 태론 배우님부터 여쭤볼게요.
So, following
Those
your
shoes are amazing.
Thank you
They
very
are
much.
excellent shoes.
신발이 정말 멋지시다고요.
Come on, show everybody those shoes.
모든 분들께 좀 보여드렸으면 좋겠습니다.
Shoes.
Like Elton John's shoes, they're great.
Thank you.
Every time I have been here, I have had the most extraordinary welcome. I would go as far as to say that the welcome I receive when coming here to Korea is the best in the world. When I get off the plane, there are always tons of fans, tons of people who are so excited to see us, and it is the warmest reception I get anywhere in the world. And I'm not just saying that, it's absolutely the truth. And it's always very flattering and very humbling, and I get very, very excited when I land here, and this time was no exception.
Yeah, I would like to echo again what Taron has said, but this is my second time here, and I only ever seem to be here for 12 or 16 hours, which is just heartbreaking, because the more I come here, I'm lucky enough to come with my wife this time as well, who's been out all day yesterday visiting sites. She's convinced that we have to come back here now for our great holiday of 6 weeks or something. But yeah, I just want to come here and stay longer every time I do. And as Taron says, the welcome of the fans is incredible and second to none. It's the most extraordinary, enthusiastic and heartfelt and joyous welcome that you can really receive anywhere in the world. So who doesn't want to go somewhere and be adored? It's lovely. Thank you.
네, 한국 꼭 다시 오셔서 롱 할러데이도 보내시고 영화도 한번 만드시고 그랬으면 좋겠습니다.
That's a great idea.
네, 좋은 생각이
That's good.
많습니다.
Like that, yeah.
두 분 다 꼭 뵐 수 있길 바랍니다. 자, 그럼 이제 기자 여러분의 질문 받도록 하겠습니다. 저희 손 들어주시면은요, 진행위원이 마이크 전달하도록 할게요. 왼쪽으로 먼저 가도록 하겠습니다. 네. 네.
네, 오마이뉴스 김윤정 기자입니다. 네, 그 엘튼 존은 지금도 많은 사람들에게 사랑받고 있는 뮤지션인데 그 살아있는 그 레전드를 연기한다는 그 생애를 조명하는 영화를 만든다는 건 그 연기하는 배우나 그 생애를 조명하는 감독으로서도 좀 조심스러운 부분, 고민들이 좀 있었을 것 같은데요. 이런 고민, 어떤 고민들이 있으셨는지 그걸 또 어떤 방식으로 풀어나가셨는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 또 테런 에저튼 배우는 캐릭터 분석할 때 그 엘튼 존이랑 끊임없이 소통했다고 들었는데 그 엘튼 존이 해주신 말씀 중에 어떤 부분이 좀 인상적이었는지 또 특별히 자신을 연기하는 배우에게 부탁한 내용이 있다면 어떤 게 있었는지 궁금합니다.
In terms of the first part of your question, which I think was about the challenges and the kind of thought that went into creating this film, we just knew from the offset that we were very, very passionate about the story. It's the story of an extraordinary man, larger than life, an extremely colourful figure, and his life has been an extraordinary one. And although I'm speaking, I'm not going to claim this, it's Dexter's vision, but we always wanted to tell the story in an elevated way, in a very heightened, stylised way. And the film is also a musical. So we have somewhere in the region of 20 of Elton's classic songs in the film, and we use them to tell the story. That was something that's always been very appealing to me because I'm a singer. But undoubtedly, you're right, that does present challenges. The challenges are many, they're varied, and essentially it just means that you have to be very switched on, very on your game every single day. And it's always creativity that solves problems. It's always being creative, being available, being alive to the challenges. They're the things that allow you to circumnavigate the difficulties. I don't know if you want to... The second part of your question, I believe, was about my relationship with Elton John and his contribution to the film. Elton has been very, very present throughout the process. We're very, very fortunate in that Elton has, on one hand, been very available to us, for us to be able to ask him questions, to get his approval for elements of the storytelling. But he's also afforded us the space to be creative, to have fun, to not feel too much pressure. And I really think that has been key and integral to why the movie is, I believe, a triumph. So I can only thank Sir Elton John, and he will have our endless gratitude for the way he's conducted this whole process of making the film.
Yeah, I mean, I can only just echo again what Taron says so brilliantly. It was an incredible challenge, but we did have this incredible catalogue of music that Elton kind of gifted us and allowed us to use in a way that we needed to, that we saw fit, how we wanted to express the emotions of the characters in the film at any given time. And what you discover is you look deeper and deeper into the lyrics and the music that Elton and Bernie Taupin created, that there's this incredible storytelling there. And because we were given this creative freedom and the support of Sir Elton, and he let us fly with that. Taron has this incredible instrument with his voice as well, which he uses throughout the film. We pre-recorded some of the music, but Taron, rightly so, insisted that when the opportunity arose that he would sing live on set. And this gives the film this authenticity and texture that we're really proud of, because it connects the audience very directly to the characters in the film. And because it's a musical, it's so important that you get swept up in that music and you enjoy these big moments, or these very intimate moments, these very human moments, or these moments that are full of spectacle and hundreds of people dancing and singing together. So we just count ourselves extremely fortunate that Elton is here to give us his blessing and his thoughts and his music, and then the freedom to be as creative as we needed to be with that.
네, 다음 질문 가도록 하겠습니다. 다음 질문은 오른쪽에 계신 기자님께 마이크 드리겠습니다.
네, 안녕하세요. 저 스포츠투데이의 한예지 기자입니다. 일단 두 분께 질문 드릴게요. 테런 에저트 배우께는 이제 킹스맨에서도 엘튼 존이랑 같이 연기를 하셨잖아요. 그래서 그때 첫 인상은 어땠는지, 그리고 지금 그의 삶을 이제 다 연기를 하시고 나서 이제 엘튼 존에 대한 감상이 좀 달라진 게 있는지 궁금하고요. 또 음악도 음악이지만 좀 화려한 엘튼 존의 시그니처 패션을 좀 많이 다양하게 입으셨는데 그 기분은 어떠셨는지 궁금해요. 그리고 감독님께는 이제 엘튼 존이란 뮤지션을 영화로 담을 때 가장 가치 있게 생각했던 게 무엇인지, 그리고 또 엘튼 존이 수많은 명곡이 있는데 제목을 그 타이틀을 로켓맨으로 내세운 특별한 이유가 있을지 궁금합니다.
So yes, Elton and I first met on Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and at that point I still am a fan, but that was the only relationship I really had with him, just being one of millions of fans. And I was very nervous to meet him, understandably, because he's an icon. But one of the most refreshing things about meeting him and getting to know him and portraying him which has meant that I've had a lot of contact with him, is just how kind he is, warm, full of love, and very and interested in me and interested in other elements of my life. And I'm very, very proud and happy to say that we have become friends. And that's not something I ever expected from this process. He really is the most extraordinary man. And I'm so proud that our movie has turned out the way it is, because I believe it's a well-deserved tribute to a truly extraordinary human being. The second part of your question, I believe, was about the fashion in the film. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It may have rubbed off on me slightly, actually. Julian Day, our costume designer, has done the most extraordinary work in this film. And for me as an actor, to have the gift of these costumes, they are such a phenomenal toolkit, and they're such a phenomenal facilitator for the performance I wanted to give. And frankly, had the costumes not been as wonderful as they are, I wouldn't have found it half as easy, and I highly doubt I would have, given the performance that I wanted to give. Thank you.
Yeah, it's I'm sort of vaguely thinking about the question. Is Elton John, as Taron said, is an extraordinary man, and the more you get to know him, the more that becomes part of the experience of knowing him. But what the film tries to reflect is our impressions of him, as we understand him to be this incredibly generous, funny, clever, quirky, unusual, colourful, vibrant, larger-than-life person. And the film does everything it can to try and reflect him as a person, as we know him, as we love him and understand him. And so that when you watch the film, you hopefully feel you get to know Elton John, the real Elton John. That's what's really important to us, and what's important to Elton. And the film is made up of his recollection and his memories. So it's all very personal to him, and we feel the film is a very personal tribute to him. And being his friend, that it really has the Sir Elton John in its DNA. It's really important that that's what we get, so you don't get a kind of removed, kind of third-person point of view, but you're in there. And this is a massive part to Taron's performance, that he embodies Elton so beautifully and incredibly, and in such a committed way that's compelling. But that's what Elton is like. This is what I think, and it's so much fun in the film. But so that's kind of what the film endeavours to do. It's not easy. He's a super amazing person, but also why it's called Rocketman. There's certain times in people's lives where they burn bright. They fly into the sky, and there's light and magic and colour for us all to see. And it's said in the film about him. And I suppose you can take it many different ways, what it is to be a rocket man. Sometimes it's a lonely place that you fly up to, and you're there all alone. But at the same time, you're giving all this gift of light and colour and magic to the world. And that was really that part of Elton's life that we're looking at, that Elton's... I keep calling you Elton. Taron is portraying. So many times I call you Elton. Yes, so there's many reasons why it's called Rocketman. So you should go and see all the many reasons why.
말씀하시는 중에 테런 배우를 엘튼이라고 부르고 스스로 깜짝 놀라시더라고요. 네. 자, 이제 다음 질문 가도록 하겠습니다. 네, 저 뒤쪽으로 가겠습니다.
손 들어주세요.
네. 왼쪽이군요. 왼쪽에 준비되어 있습니다. 네.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 BNT 뉴스의 김영재 기자라고 합니다. 저는 배우분과 감독분 공통 질문하느라 배우분께 질문 하나 드리겠습니다. 먼저 첫 번째 질문은 엘튼 존의 음악은 언제나 영화 속에 많이 삽입이 되는데요. 예를 들어서 더 페이보릿 여왕의 여자라는 영화가 있는데 그 영화 엔딩곡으로 스카이라인 피존이 사용이 됐어요. 근데 그 노래가 담고 있는 은유적으로 사용이 됐는데 다만 이 영화에서는 엘튼 존이 엘튼 존의 노래를 하는 정기 영화입니다. 뭔가 2019년에 엘튼 존 음악이 우리가 영화관에서 봐야 되는 혹시 의미가 있을지 궁금하고요. 또 하나는 배우분께 질문드리자면 아까 푸티지 영상 가운데 보면 사람들이 레지트 화이트가 아니라 엘튼 존을 보러 온 거야 라는 대사가 있습니다. 근데 앞서 한 인터뷰에서 배우분 한 인터뷰에서 엘튼 존 캐릭터를 연구하다 보니 그와 내가 비슷한 점이 많았다고 했는데 여기서 제가 느낀 점은 뭔가 그 엘튼 존이 그 가수와 개인의 간극을 느낀 것처럼 배우도 뭔가 할리우드 배우와 개인의 간극을 느낀 걸 영화에 녹여냈을 것 같아요. 그 점에 대해서 한번 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Do you want to take the first?
Yeah. So it's interesting, musical biopics. There's lots of great musical biopics, and what we've endeavoured to do with Rocketman and Sir Elton's story is not so much a biopic, but a kind of fantastical, magical, true reality of his story. Our film is a memory, is Sir Elton John's memories of his own life, but they're not a third person telling the story. They're Sir Elton telling the story, as I've said before. So I don't personally see it as a biopic because memory is an interesting thing. It can play tricks on us, and we forget details, or we imagine certain things to be bigger and more extraordinary, or we exaggerate, or we forget certain details. But that means in the telling of a story in a film that we get to play with reality and create a heightened reality, which is what we really wanted to do with the musical side of our film, to take the music and allow it to be another part of the story that wasn't just a very sort of simple chronological telling of what song was written when. We don't need to do that. We use the songs when it informs the emotion, the heart of the characters, when it enlightens something in the story in an exciting and different way. So as the director, I don't see it as a biopic. I understand why people do, because it's about Sir Elton John and his life. But if you look deeper than that, if you look beyond the surface, you'll see that really you're hearing the heart and mind of a great artist talking about his life and how he got to be the person that he is today. So for me, it's much more poetic than just a biopic. That was the aim, always the aim.
Yeah, I think the first part of the question about why we feel audiences should go and see our musical film. I hope, based on the footage that you've seen, you will have seen something of what the movie is, which is a spectacle. It's full of colour. It's full of joy and light. The music is some of the best, we believe, that has ever been written in popular music. It really is a feast for the eyes. Dexter and I have been friends for a number of years now. This is our second project together. But we've just had the most fantastic, creative, fun, joyous time. And so much of Dexter's personality, which is about exuberance and enthusiasm and positivity, works its way into the fabric of our film, and it will be something, I know, that will be a time in our lives that we will treasure forever, and something of that quality, I believe, is crystallised in the film. So that's why I think you should go and see it. And then the second question, which was about myself and Elton and the similarities between us. I think Elton approved and picked me to play him because he sees something of his disposition in me. I'm not for a second claiming to be anywhere near as talented, as brilliant as Elton John, but something in our personalities, there's a crossover. I hope we both have the capacity for a lot of love and joy. We're definitely both very sensitive. And I think, something of how much he has invested in me has also worked its way into the film, because you spend so much time with someone and all of a sudden they stop being Elton John as this far off idea, and they start to be a friend who sat across a table from you telling you what they did today, and at what time they played tennis, and what bits of correspondence they had to catch up on. And all of a sudden it changes the experience. It changes how you feel about it. Not only does it feel like a weight of responsibility because of the legacy and the heritage of Elton John, but it feels like a weight and a responsibility because you genuinely love and care about the person you're portraying.
시간이 아쉽습니다. 시간 관계상 여러분들의 질문은 여기까지 받도록 하고요. 마지막으로 오늘 어떠셨는지 한국 팬들에게 마지막 인사 한 말씀씩 부탁드릴까 합니다.
Of course, you know, to echo what I said at the start of this press conference, this part of the world has special relevance for me because of the success of my calling card film, Kingsman: The Secret Service, and then Kingsman: The Golden Circle. It's always a pleasure to come back. I'm always bowled over when I step off that plane here in Seoul because I know something of what it feels like to be in One Direction for a moment. But it is absolutely fantastic to be here. Thank you for the wonderful response and thank you for your time.
Yeah, I'm just really proud to be stood next to this man here for the second time round for my visit to Korea. And if he's in One Direction, that means I get to be his old fat friend who stands by him. And that makes me extremely proud. And, you know, there's nothing greater than coming to somewhere that's just full of enthusiasm and appreciation and excitement for what it is that he does next. And Taron and I intend to make many more films together. We'll always bring them back here. This is a great place for us to come. But we are extremely proud of Rocketman. And Taron has an incredible voice as well as an incredible ability to act. And these two things combined in Rocketman is just something that we are so really personally proud of and are so excited to share with everyone. And of course, we encourage you to go and see it. Go and see it 5 times. We hope that you love it as much as we do and you go with all your friends.
Go and see it 6 times.
6 times. And then if you all do that, we'll definitely come back again. But thank you. You make us feel so welcome.
감사합니다.
6번, 7번까지 네, 가능할 것 같습니다. 네, 고맙습니다. 그럼 두 분 잠시 아래로 모셨다가요. 저희가 이 무대 정리하고 나서 포토타임 시간에 다시 무대 위로 모시도록 하겠습니다.
Please start with right side, please. Right side, yes, right side. And then center, please. And finally, left side, please.
감독님 잠시 내려오셨다가 우리 배우 다음에 또
Thank you.
모시도록 하겠습니다.
Please step down on stage for a while.
감독님 너무 귀여우세요. 자, 이번엔 테런 에저튼 배우 무대
We
위로
now invite
모시겠습니다.
Mr. Taron Egerton up on the stage. We would first like to start with the right side. And please towards the center. And please turn to the left side.
의상이 조금 엘튼 존 스타일이신 것 같아요. 자, 이번에는 감독님 다시 무대 위로 모실까요?
We would like to invite back our director, Mr. Fletcher.
자, 이제 두 분 함께 촬영하도록 하겠습니다.
We will start with the left side, please. I'm sorry, right side, sorry. Right side, please. And then finally, left side, please.
한 번 더 가운데서 우리 팬들을 위한 특별한 포즈 있으면 부탁드리면 어떨까요?
And if it's okay, we would like to have the honor of having you in the center again to have a special pose for our Korean fans, if that's okay.
Yes. Whatever you
Any,
like.
yes. Yes. Correct. for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 네, Thank you. 두 분 덕분에 아주 유쾌한 시간이었던 것 같습니다. Thank you very much. 예, 감사합니다.